Good morning, guys. It is January the 5th, a perfect day to take the ice shack out on the lake. So a buddy of mine has a shack today. We heard there's 14 inches of ice and the snow is not too deep, 8 or 9 inches. So we should be able to take the shack out. I haven't asked my buddy yet. He doesn't know what the plan is. He wants to take four-wheelers and I'm like, nope, that's not going to happen. We need to try the Mitsubishi. So I'm going to go to his place now and basically tell him, here's the plan. We're taking two vehicles and the Mitsubishi is going to pull out the ice shack. This is simply a test to see, can the Outlander do everything that I need it to do? And so far in the past year, it has. So the ice fishing, I'm a little questionable on, but let's give it a go. Let's see if it can pull the shack out. I should actually have enough electric that we can pull the shack out in electric only. May or may not happen, but I'm going to bring some ropes and some tow straps just in case. The problem with the lake is not the four-wheel drive, it's that the snow gets so high that the undercarriage of the vehicles ride up and then your four tires just spin, unless you have a great big truck with lots of clearance. So the Outlander doesn't have the most clearance, and that's my issue, I think, where we might see failure today, is that we're going to get hung up on the snow, but we're going to try it anyway. Also, we're going to hook up the dog today. I want to get a true number of how much battery are we using when we're depleting the battery. Is it 8 kilowatt hours of usage, or is it 8.1, 8.2, 8.3? Online, I've heard the number 30% of your battery being tossed around. With a 12 kilowatt hour battery, that would mean 8.4% battery is being used before the car kicks on. So we're going to use the dog for the next 4 or 5 trips to get an average of what that number actually is, because I'm going to show you guys my tracking stats for this year. I've really simplified everything, but I do want to get an average use every day when we're going out and draining this battery. How many kilowatt hours are we actually using? And we're going to use that for calculations, as well as what the dash number is telling us. It gives us a number, but I'm not sure how accurate that number is. So we're going to try to get to the bottom of that as well. All right, so we got some rods, tip-ups, lures, lunch, all that stuff. You guys might laugh at these little kiddie shovels, but these are actually perfect for getting under a vehicle to clear out snow. If you have a normal shovel, quite often they're too big. So, and then the most important thing is to have a good strap that the other guy can just give you a tug on the bumper if you do need to back up or whatever. Let's go. Al, almost forgot the bait. That would have sucked. We got bait. So interestingly enough, I ran into a buddy of mine down at the bait shop, and I mentioned to him about trying to pull out the shack with the Mitsubishi, and he laughed. He said, "Oh, for your commercials." I hadn't thought of it like that, but I guess some people view the channel as a Mitsubishi commercial. Couple more essentials for the hut. Gotta jack that baby up when we get out there, and of course we need a power auger. So he might have a little more clearance on the Jeep, but we're gonna pull it out with the Mitsubishi. I'm just gonna get him to run in front of me so he can clear me a path. Oh, I don't know, it doesn't look like much of a test for the Mitsubishi. Where's the big shack? No, that's actually, with that in the snow like that, that's probably gonna be a good pull to get that out of there.
Box. And I'm gonna see if I still have any wood. That looks kind of bare.
Jeez, you got a fancy shack, buddy.
Oh, there's my Allen.
So we've actually run into the first problem here. We're on ice, and I've got it in four-wheel drive lock. Only the front tires are spinning. There is no spinning from the back. I'll show you guys that right now. Four-wheel drive lock is on. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that, but okay, we're gonna hook the Jeep up. Okay, take number 2. At least we've got 4 tires spinning now. Yeah, it was this one. This side was stuck. All right, we'll try a bit of ash here. If that doesn't work, the Mitsubishi's gonna have to pull out the Jeep and the ice hut. Yeah. Wishful thinking, I think.
Take the nails out of the tire.
There you go, you got it now. There you go. That right there is defeat. Shame on you, Mitsubishi. Shame on you. All right, so we're gonna just leave this hooked up to the Jeep, and the Jeep can pull it out on the ice if he gets stuck. I can use the tow strap to give him a little bump, but really disappointed. I'm wondering if it's something to do with maybe a sensor for weight, because it is just electric motor on the back. Now I did start the engine as well, thinking maybe that would make a difference, but the rear tires did not spin at all. So hey, that's news to me, guys. I've never really put the four-wheel drive in the Outlander PHEV to a test before. This is the first test, and don't mind me, I'm just gonna film a little bit for my YouTube channel.
Instead of hanging onto the chair.
Sketchy much? Oh, you want me to hold the chair? Oh. Okay, I got it. If you're coming down, I'm bailing. So don't get me wrong, guys, that would have been a hard pull out for any vehicle because it was on the ice. However, the all-wheel drive system, I would have figured that at least one front and one back tire would be slipping, but no such luck. Like, there was no spinning of the rear at all. So I don't know if there's some safety system in there. I mean, it's a pretty smart vehicle, but I don't know. Disappointed. All right, and on to the lake we go. Seatbelts off and windows down. If you're paranoid. Oh yeah, there's hardly any snow out here at all. Okay, we'll see you guys in 14 miles. I guess it's not much of a day to test the all-wheel drive on the lake. Buddy's out here in his little Mazda car. So I think we're good. So now I'm off the trail, and you can pretty much go anywhere out here on the lake because there's only 5 inches of snow, so. Everyone was telling me how good it is out on the lake, and you can see here's a skidoo track, and beside it, I mean, that's how much snow we got. maybe 4 inches, so not much of a test there. I feel like we're filming the next Grumpier Old Men movie. I don't know. Hey. 4, 5, there's 6, 7. All right, we got one more of those. 9. What do you got in here, Tim? Nice little pickerel. Just under the slot size, though.
Back he goes.
That hurts. Well, a good day on the lake. A dozen perch, 1 pickerel, missed a couple more. Let's go home and I'll show you guys what we're gonna track this year for the electric. Okay, here we are on the computer. I just wanted to show you guys this little snippet here in the center is an actual screenshot from my electric bill for last month. And I just wanted to show you guys, I had calculated my electric usage last year based on 30% delivery charge added onto all my usage. So if we look at the usage for the house, we would have to add up on peak, mid peak, and off peak, which I have done, and I'll show you on the calculator. Here's my delivery charge. $48.35 out of my bill was for delivery. So if we take that $48.35 and we divide it by the total of those first three numbers, what I used, we get 0.54%. And if we're rounding up, 55% of my bill was delivery charge. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys that to show that I grossly underestimated last year what my delivery charge was. So 55%. And the reason I did that is because I want to show you guys, in Excel this year, we're going to do just 2 sheets. We're going to do fuel consumption and we're going to do electric consumption. Let's start with the electric. And what I'm doing is I'm going to track total kilometers traveled every day on electric and how many kilowatt hours were used, and we're going to use the dog to figure that out. And when I put in my price per kilowatt, this is the time of day that I charge. So there's an on-peak, off-peak, and a mid-peak. So this, I usually try to charge at 7 o'clock at night or later, and that's this cheap rate here. So what I've done with my cost of fill-up is we're multiplying the kilowatt hours times the price, but I've also added in that times 1.55%, so that's 55% for delivery fees. So now we're going to get an exact true number, and this is going to be totaled over here on the side for the year. So we've built in a 55% delivery fee charge for each one of these times that we fill up. It's ridiculous. I know I don't know where I got the number 30% last year, but it was wrong. It's 55, a whopping 55% of my electric bill is delivery charges. The other thing we're going to calculate is our kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Okay, we're going to keep track of that both through what the dog tells us, which is here, and what the car is telling us. And if you look over I've only done this twice so far, there is a difference. This time, here, the dog was actually showing 32, the car was showing 31.1, and here the second time, the dog is actually showing less than the car, so they've flip-flopped. So I don't know how, this one should be completely accurate. The car here seems to be a little bit off, but that'll give us a number that down here at the end of the year, we're going to see a total kilowatt hours used, and our average, this should say kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Right now it's 28. So over the course of the year, that's going to drop as we get out of winter. So that's what I'm tracking for electric this year. And if you look at my fuel consumption, it's basically the same as last year. We're going to do kilometers traveled, and I only fill each one of these lines out when I get gas. So every time I fill up gas, we get a total number of kilometers traveled, and that's going to have electric and fuel use in it. So what that's going to give me is my total liters per 100 kilometers that I'm getting out of the vehicle using electric and gasoline. So that's your complete, what is the car getting? And then of course we have our numbers here, average liters per 100, total liters purchased, and the amount spent on gasoline. And that's what we're going to track this year. Thanks for watching, guys.